Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I propose we change the length of the year for how we measure our time and for cultural reasons, for social reasons. And I propose we change it to 138.376 days. It's the half life of polonium 210, which is the smallest isotope that has some reasonable half life, right? Anything lighter than that has either a really short or a really long half life. Polonium 210 is just right in terms of the lightest one that has an alpha decay that has a reasonable half life. And it's a really good amount of time too for various reasons, which I'm going to bring up in this video. Today happens to be on this calendar the 8-year anniversary of when I began my art career, which is what prompted me to talk about this again. When I was in fifth grade, my fifth grade teacher, I really got along with her, but shortly after the new year, I had a classmate who had a birthday, and he had, just like any other fifth grader, had cake, ice cream, and all sorts of celebrations. And my fifth grade teacher wasn't interested in any of that because she had made a resolution to lose some weight. And that was my first time hearing the concept of a New Year's resolution. And she asked me if I had any New Year's resolutions. And I said, I suppose I want to get some good grades. And so that was that. It was kind of disappointing, though, because it was my classmate's birthday, and he was really excited about it. And all of a sudden, we got thrust into New Year's resolutions and all that. Well, a couple of days later, I saw my fifth grade teacher eating crap. And I asked her what happened to the resolution, and she said that, don't you know, New Year's resolutions are only supposed to last a few days. And sure enough, I lost my resolution too. And since then, we've all made and lost resolutions 20 or 30 times, and it's become a routine. But it made me wonder, what if we checked in on our resolutions more often? Now, if it's too often, you got a little bit of a problem, right? If you're making a resolution every week, it's very easy to put it off, right? Oh, I'll lose weight next week, and then the next week, and then the next. You don't want to be too long, right? You also don't want it too short, right? You also don't want it to be too long, where you don't try again for another year, right? And so I knew as a kid that I wanted to do it less often than once a month, but more often than once a year. I really didn't settle on a time period just yet. Okay. Now, last year in Phoenix, we had a really bad heat wave, and it was still summertime at Halloween. And so the sight of going trick or treating during the summertime was really fun for some reason. And then I had my grandmother passed away, and I ended up spending Christmas here in Taiwan, where it's a lot warmer, right? So it was my first like summertime Christmas, and it made me wonder, what if we could have holidays in the wrong season? Right? Imagine having a 4th of July during a winter snowstorm, or having Valentine's Day during the summertime. I think we should mix it up a little bit, and having years that are not 365 days would facilitate that. Besides, the 365-day year is based on Earth. Earth is just one planet. I'd rather have a length of time that is universally agreed upon. You don't need a planet, right? And the only way to do that is some kind of nuclear decay half-life, right? And so also, it just makes it easier to check in on things, right? And so you get to have your birthday more often. You get to make New Year's resolutions more often. You get to appreciate whatever religion you belong in more often, right? You get to celebrate your country's independence more often. It's all great, right? And also, it makes things more digestible, right? So, for example, if you're really lost with things, the fact that the next year, the next segment of your life is only that far away, right? To kind of smooth things out a little bit. and and then every time you have a new year, it's a different season, right? Imagine, I think we should all try to go on vacation on different times of the year every year, right? Sometimes you could enjoy, like this time here in Taiwan. I very seldom come to Taiwan during the summertime because I used to think summertime in Taiwan was hot until I moved to Phoenix. Now it's a place to cool down, right? And I got to see, because Taiwan is on the Tropic of Cancer, I got to see the sun directly over it. That's a sight that I've never seen before in my life, right? I hope to someday go to the southern hemisphere and see the sun directly overhead in December as well, right around Christmas time. Imagine a Christmas day where the sun is directly over. I want to do that at some point, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.